Greetings from the Distortion world once more, with more blessings from Lord Giratina. I am Dunsparce of the Distortion world, and we are back with another tale. Before we start with this tale, let me reference a Pokédex entry of a fellow Pokemon. It bounces on its spring to keep its heart pumping. It cannot afford to stop bouncing. If it does, its heart will stop. Probably didn't quote that properly, but you get the gist. This particular Pokemon, Spoink, must have a means to bounce. If he no longer bounces, his heart will not pump, and therefore he will die. Now, you know what the story title is of this tale. And as we recollect the memories of a poor, tortured soul, his name is Steve. Let's have our tale begin. I love Pokemon, always have, always will. From the start I collected the plushies, the cards, the figures, and once the game came out, I was ecstatic. Yellow, blue, red, gold, silver, fire red, leaf green, ruby, sapphire, emerald, you name it, I've played it. Diamond and Pearl were no exception. Once the games came out, I raced the chips, money in hand, ready to buy the game. Hey, you could have gone to a different store, but whatever. Unfortunately, my excitement was immediately extinguished when an apologetic cashier told me that they were already sold out. Why? She explained that there had been a massive rush to get the game. They wouldn't be back in stock until next week. I was literally tearing the hair out of my roots in rage, and the lady was looking at me crazy. Not apologetic, just wondering how crazy I am over a game. Wait till next week. Go to a different store or something. I always purchase games as soon as they came out. Yeah, well, you should have pre-ordered. You should have joined the rush. Storming home, I began to think of ways I could get the game without waiting till next week. I'm not a very patient person, you see. It was then I thought of James. Yeah, of course. Not patient, so you're gonna think of a friend that could help you. James is a good friend of mine. And a massive computer game geek. It's not like that's a problem or anything. I could really use a nerdy friend right now. So I phoned him and asked him about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. He told me that there's no way he could get me the game unless he downloaded a ROM for me. I never knew ROMs came out that quick, but whatever. That sounded great. I'm a bit addicted to my laptop, so having a ROM of my much-needed Pokemon game would be perfect. I invited James over and watched him work his magic, and eventually I had a Pokemon Diamond ROM sitting in my laptop just waiting to be used. I thanked James and sat on my laptop. No, I didn't sit on my laptop. If I would have done that, it would have broke. I sat my laptop on my knee while sitting on my bed. I slowly became obsessed with Pokemon Diamond. I named my character Dawn and my rival Barry. I had the most annoying habit of naming my game characters after the anime characters, and within a week, I had earned myself 8 badges, and in a matter of days, after owning the Elite Four and getting the National Pokédex, my last goal was to capture every single Pokemon in the Pokédex. What about the Pokemon contest? You want the black trainer card, don't you? You gotta do them. All a master rank. Oh, and what about the Battle Tower? Did you win 100 battles? No? You just want to complete Pokédex? Okay. But a hardcore Pokemon fan, I would never cheat to receive Pokemon, even the event ones. Okay, first off, I'm gonna stop you right there, Steve. You're playing a ROM. I do not know how you would get Pokemon legitimately on a ROM. It doesn't work that way, Steve. But whatever, this is your tale. I'm just a storyteller. I'm just speaking my logic every once in a while. So, with day after day of strenuous work, hour after hour of migrating, and a hell of a lot of persuading with my friends, my Pokédex was near to completing. However, 2 Pokemon restrained me from my goal: Spoink and Grumpig. I'm still stumped as how the migrating worked. I mean, he's on a ROM. This would have to mean that he'd have other ROMs as well, as that would be the only way he can get all those things. And don't even ask how you can get event Pokemon on a ROM without cheating. But hey, it's your tale, Steve. It's your tale. How did I get Spoink again? I whipped out my Diamond and Pearl guide and discovered that Spoink was a swarm Pokemon. Of course! Saving at Lucas's house, I switched off my DS and adjusted the time over and over so the swarm Pokemon kept changing. Eventually, his younger sister said, "Route 214, there's a bunch of Spoink there." So I set off 214's route. Didn't take myself time to nab myself level 22 male Spoink. I simply had to raise it to level 32, 10 more levels, voila! I have myself a complete Pokédex. I'm gonna stop you there once again, Steve. You could have, I don't know, migrated a Spoink and Grumpig from Ruby and Sapphire? Just saying. But we wouldn't have this story, so you're good. You're good. I decided to train my Spoink outside Fuego Ironworks. There were some decent level Pokemon there, and I had been meaning to go there for some Firestones. I worked my way through Floatals, Gastrodons, Shellos, and Wingles, and then I came across a Luxio. Level 29, a formidable opponent for my now level 27 Spoink. The battle commenced. While Luxio appeared, Don sent out Spoink. Spoink using Headbutt. It didn't say it flinched it or missed. It just hit normal damage. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Darn it, I used the Paralysis heal. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Insert troll face here. I used another. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Persistent, aren't we? Yeah, you need taunt, sir. Luxio used Thunder Wave. What? Don't you have any other moves? Why, yes, it probably has Bite and Roar, which, by the way, surprised I ain't using any of those, but let's just continue the story. Luxio used Thunder Wave. Surprise, surprise. And so it went on. Luxio used Thunder Wave. And me using Paralysis heals. One of us had to run out eventually. It was me. No, I didn't have no full restores. No, I didn't have no full heals. And no, I didn't have no cherry berries. So I stared angrily at the screen as my last Paralysis heal was used and yet again wasted because, you know, spamming Thunder Wave. I couldn't run away though. I'd show that Luxio I would win, paralysis or no paralysis. At least there was a 50% chance me attacking. I selected Psybeam. Spoink is paralyzed. It can't move. Man, bit of bad luck, that's all. Luxio used Thunder Wave, but it failed. I selected Zen Headbutt this time. Spoink is paralyzed. It needs to move. Change in dialogue? Oh well. Spoink is paralyzed. Heal it quick. Sorry game, I literally don't have anything to heal Spoink with, as I don't have full restores, full heals, or cherry berries. Spoink is paralyzed. Please, it's a parade. Okay, this is getting a little weird. Fine, I'll run and get you to a Pokemon Center if that makes you happy. Can't escape. Oh, lovely. Spoink is paralyzed. Do you even care? Okay, change dialogue and questions. This is really getting odd. Spoink is paralyzed. Its body is shutting down. Spoink is paralyzed. It doesn't want to exist. Spoink is paralyzed. Why won't you do anything? Well, I tried running away, but can't escape. I rapidly tapped the touchpad to get rid of the message. No, I was hallucinating. I was overly addicted, that's all. I switched Pokemon and sent out my level 68 Garchomp, which quickly defeated the dastardly Luxio, which I could have done this earlier, but nope. Afterwards, I flew to Eterna City, ran to the Pokemon Center. Welcome to the Pokemon Center, where we heal your Pokemon back to full health. Would you like me to heal your Pokemon? No, Nurse Joy, I came to admire your outfit, and your boobs, and your butt. Cause I'm Brock, perverted Brock. Yeah, deal with it. Okay, I'll take your Pokemon for a few seconds. I watched anxiously as the Pokeballs were placed one by one on the tray and then healed. She turned back to me. Your Pokemon are now healed. She bowed. We hope to see you again. I immediately checked my party and was greeted by something shocking. Spoink was still paralyzed. Nurse Joy lied to me! How? I rushed to the Pokemon and stocked up on Paralyze heals. Why didn't you do that beforehand? You should have gotten full heals too. Hurriedly, I opened the menu and tried giving one to Spoink. It won't have any effect. I tried again. It won't have any effect. It won't have any effect. Don't you listen? The dialogue had changed again. It won't have any effect. Why didn't you listen to me? Ooh, the Spoink is talking. Apparently. It won't have any effect. Why won't you just end it? It won't have any effect. Don't you understand it can't be cured? It won't have any effect. Why don't you just kill me? Poor Spoink. I closed down the menu. Surely this wasn't real. I opened up the menu again and clicked onto Spoink's summary. Everything was normal except its sprite. It looked saddened. Instead of its normal bouncing animation, it shuddered violently on the spot, and a flash of yellow electric bolts whizzed around its body like thick rope, immobilizing it. My hands grew clammy, and I rubbed my eyes. Why was my game doing this? It was then I remembered this wasn't a game. This was a ROM, not the real game. A fake version on a laptop. Anything could have happened to it. Any sick fiend freak could have tweaked something here and there and created this. I decided to return to the Pokemon Center. Maybe if I tried again, Spoink would be healed. Welcome to the Pokemon Center. Oh dear me, your Spoink looks very sick. Let's have a look now. Why didn't you check that beforehand, Joy? I mean, can't do your job? I don't know. This time, only one Pokeball appeared on the tray, and the blinking animation went on longer than usual. Nurse Joy faced me again. Her words put even more fear in my heart. I'm afraid your Spoink didn't make it. It has passed away. I'm very sorry. What? But Pokemon don't die. They faint, and that's it. Yeah, apparently they don't die. You played the original games. You know Pokemon die. You got Lavender Tail. You got Pokemon Town. You got Gary's Eradicate that died. But they don't die, they faint. Die just like that. Terrified, I hurriedly switched off my laptop without saving, and I could have sworn I heard a quiet Spoink cry emitted from the speakers. Ruby Pokédex entry. Spoink bounces around on its tail. The shock of its bouncing makes its heart pumped. As a result, this Pokemon cannot afford to stop bouncing. If it stops, its heart will stop. Heart Gold Soul Silver Pokédex entry. It bounces around on its tail to keep its heart pumping. It carries a pearl from Clampearl on its head. It's a thief! It's a thief! And that concludes our tale. Makes you wonder, why did the Luxio spam Thunder Wave? Was it a curse of the ROM? something more creepy. And think about it. The Pokédex does specify that Spoink needs to keep bouncing. So remember this whenever you are using a Spoink and someone uses Thunder Wave on you. Or better yet, if you face a Spoink from your opponent and use Thunder Wave on it. With those lingering thoughts on mind, I end this tale and thank you for your time. I am Dunsparce of the Distortion World, thanking you once again, and as Honor Sparse would say, take care, farewell, love from the Honor Sparse Army. How Dunsparce. Later, everybody.